You're watching 48 Fastcast.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us on this Thursday. I'm Margot Gray with your 48 Fastcast. This is our digital version of your newscast, bringing you top headlines in a short, fast-paced style. So we start in Hartselle, where we now know the identity of the 91-year-old man who was killed in a deadly train crash yesterday. So Morgan County Coroner Jeff Chun identifying that victim as Franklin Turney. Police say the train pushed Turney's SUV almost 1,000 yards down the track. He was stuck inside that SUV and had to be extricated. Turney was taken to the hospital where he later died from his injuries. A Gunnersville man is charged with multiple counts of child pornography possession. The Marshall County Sheriff's Office teamed up with the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force to raid the home on Baker's Chapel Lane. That's where they found Christopher Beard and arrested him. This is a picture of that arrest. He's now in the Marshall County Jail being held on a $250,000 bond.
A much nicer day so far, but behind me on radar, we got area showers and storms. That's going to cross the state line here in about an hour. That activity will increase as it tracks to the east. We're not expecting any severe storms, but there will be some locally heavy rain. That is all ahead of this front that's coming in. It'll cool us off a bit, but there's still a chance of rain, and I've increased it now to 40% for tomorrow. And most of that's going to be clustered over northeast Alabama. I'll have the latest on that coming up hour by hour. So here's your 3-day forecast. Scattered thunderstorms again tomorrow. That should be the end of it, though. As we get into the weekend, some really nice weather. In fact, by Friday evening, we've got great weather. Temperatures falling into the upper 50s and low 60s both mornings over the weekend, with highs in the low 80s. I'll take you through this thunderstorm forecast hour by hour coming up.
Well, we are learning more about that shooting at an ICE facility in Dallas, leaving one detainee dead and 2 others injured. The suspect shooter, identified as 29-year-old Joshua Yon, shot himself after carrying out that attack. FBI agents found unfired, unspent shell casings, bullets on the scene with anti-ICE written on the shells. Agents also found a note left by Yon that states, "Yes, it was just me." The note went on to say he hated the U.S. government and he hoped the attack would, quote, give ICE agents real terror.
He hoped his actions would terrorize ICE employees and interfere with their work, which he called human trafficking. And this, what he did, is the very definition of terrorism.
By the way, the names of the victims have not been released. 2 friends from Hartselle just completed a monster of a hiking challenge, and we'll tell you all about it after this quick break. How about this for a summer memory? 2 best friends from Morgan County took part in a grueling challenge over the summer. John Anderson and Kirk Miller participated in the Everesting challenge, basically Mount Everest, but here. The challenge required hikers to climb over 29,000 feet, the same height as Mount Everest, in the span of 36 hours. The duo hiked to the top of Snow Basin Mountain in Utah, took a ski lift back to the bottom, and then started all over again until they reached that 29,000-foot goal. So they spent hundreds of hours training for this, and they say their friendship kept them motivated to complete the challenge.
We know when each other's hurting. We know when each other needs a motivating or encouraging word.
He said, if anything was to happen to me, if I twisted my ankle, if something worse happened, if I just can't do it, I'm going to come get you if you don't keep going and finish this thing all the way to completion. It's just really special to have someone there with you during all of that.
Truly mind over body, right? So the pair climbed about 2,400 feet every time they went up the mountain. So it took 13 times up and down before they hit that Everest goal. Pretty cool.
Now, your first alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis.
Now tracking another round of showers, a few thunderstorms, nothing severe, not even close with this area from Tupelo to Baldwin, just to the west of Iuka. That's moving east and will track through the area late this evening, and some of that will become disorganized after sunset. Currently 83 and partly sunny on the Parkway. Area temperatures all running in the low 80s, even some upper 70s out there, but really a pretty nice day. It's on the muggy side, but that'll change as the frontal boundary that's just off to the west here near Memphis and Nashville, as that moves through the area this evening and overnight tonight. The drier air, the north wind will come back. However, on the tail end, there's going to be an area low pressure, and that's what's going to bring back shower and thunderstorm activity, especially east of I-65 tomorrow afternoon for your Friday. Here's 6 o'clock this evening. Notice scattered showers and thunderstorms becoming more isolated between 7 and 8 o'clock and pretty much just falling apart here by 10 o'clock tonight. And then as we go into notice the change here, you can kind of see the northerly wind behind the front there near Florence and up to Fayetteville. More of a southerly wind here in the far northeast corner of the state. Still a few showers and thunder showers early tomorrow, but notice between 11 a.m. and about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, this concentration of showers and storms that hangs up in far northeast Alabama. Some very heavy rainfall rates here for Scottsboro, areas along Lookout Mountain. You get to Sylvania and Fife and Geraldine. All these areas will likely endure some heavy rainfall for a couple of hours. May see some flash flooding here too. And then as we get later into the evening, just in time for high school football, everything fades away, and that's the way it's going to be for the rest of the weekend. By 11 o'clock, temperatures falling into the 60s. Here's your 10-day forecast. Increase the chance for scattered thunderstorms Friday to 40%. Most of that's going to be east of I-65 during the afternoon, as you just saw. Back to 82 Saturday, 85 Sunday. Morning lows around 60, so very comfortable weather. And then next week, fairly dry, but we'll have to see what happens in the tropics late next week into next weekend.
All right, either way, that weekend looks fantastic, right? So that'll do it for your Thursday edition, our Friday Eve. AJ Weiss will be joining you in just a few minutes right here online with Before the 4, and then tune in on television, WAFF 48 News, where we'll bring you the latest around North Alabama. You can catch us at 4, 5, 6, and 10. We're here all day for you. Have a good afternoon.